Welcome to my floor. I have had a mental breakdown and chopped off all my hair, which means that I now have a period accurate hairstyle for the 1920s, and I decided that this is the time to embrace my new flapper alter ego. I went to my grandparents' house and I found this hat, which is essentially a very good cloche. And I think this is gonna be my attempts to decorate it because, as we can see, it's a bit plain, a bit stained with old glue, and just not the vibe, really. So I think if I can decorate it to look fabulous, I can actually make it wearable. My issue is that I haven't brought all my sewing things from my grandparents' house yet, so I have quite a limited stash at the minute. This is left for my 1920s underwear project, so I can't use that. This also is for my 1920s underwear project. No. Yes, it's a mess. I am lazy and I don't like folding things. This is just fabrics at this point. Obviously, it's all scrap that I have left over from making my house dress could be of use. Let's put that away into the maybe. So back when I had long hair, I used to plait ribbons into my hair quite often, which is why I have all these ribbons near the door where I would be doing my hair before going out. So I'll just take all my ribbons. I use this as a belt, so I'm not going to take that. Okay. And over here I have actual belts, but I also have this wide black ribbon. So I've got a lot of ribbons and a little strip of lace. And if I'm not mistaken, I bought this 90s does 30s velvet dress, and it came with this weird velvet flower, and I think I can maybe do something with that as well. Don't mind my laundry in the background, I live in a studio flat. So we've got all our materials now, and let's see what I can come up with. So when picturing the cloche design that I was after, I was thinking more along the lines of the early 1920s, so the earlier iterations of the cloche that tended to be less snugly fitted to the head. I think this is to do with the fact that hairstyles were a bit less slick-backed and were still a little bit more voluminous. And the hats also had slightly wider brims, and I've seen quite a few examples of these brims being turned up around the face. I think that's a very nice look. I associated the most with 1923, 24, that kind of time period, so that's kind of what I'm going to be searching. Okay, so this is ultimately what I came up with. Little pleats here, a bit of a ruffled, not ruffled, a
textured solution to the ribbon and like half a bow happening here that kind of progresses into the pleats. I had also put on a flower originally, but then I thought it looked a bit so I took it off. And now I'm just going to sew it on, and I'm going to take it out onto the town because it is snowing for the first time this year, and I think it'll be very exciting to try it on. I feel like I post really erratically on this platform, but the truth is my mental health has been in shambles for the past few months. I had a very big ambitious plan on how I'm going to have a proper upload schedule and actually get things done and post one video a month. And then the lesbian breakup hit me, and I've been in absolute shambles for the past few months, and I've frankly barely survived it, almost had a heart attack. And now I'm slowly kind of trying to force myself into doing everything that I was planning to do before everything crashed and burned around me. Also, I know someone's going to be like, this is none of our business, this is not the internet's business, but also I am a big believer in social media tends to be very fake, and a lot of people that post online don't really post the true things that happen behind the scenes, and it creates a weird situation where people start comparing their lives to the lives of others and see only positives. And I do not want to be a person on the internet that pretends everything is great, because we are all people, lives are difficult, and I think it's very important to show online as well that everything is not all rosy. My mental health's in shambles, and I've been having an intense mental breakdown, and I've been reevaluating who I am as a person and what are my goals in life. So, yeah, I don't know. It's probably a weird thing to say. You can reach out and, you know, if you need help, but like honestly, I find it very frustrating how a lot of people will say things regarding to. Oh, I don't like how this looks actually. How a lot of people would say stuff like, oh, if you need help, you can always reach out. And then when people reach out, they're like, oh, not today, that's actually a bit too negative. Why are you so negative? Think on the positives. I really don't like that approach. Don't offer people support if you're then going to condemn them for being too negative. No shit. Mental health tends to be gnarly, tends to be difficult to deal with. The whole point of people reaching out when it's gnarly is so they can survive it being gnarly. Anyways, Jesus, this was a very heavy thing to say on a hat sewing video. So sorry about that, but yeah, we're all people, even on the internet, and life is honestly shit sometimes, and parasocial relationships aside, if anyone does need anything, reach out to each other, fuck it, comment down below, anything, reach out anywhere. It's very important to support each other, because you never know what people are going through, you never know what is happening in someone's mental health. People do need help, and I feel like a lot of the times these days all people get are these empty platitudes. I guess this is just my little PSA to everyone that if you do feel like you need the help, reach out anywhere that you feel comfortable. I feel like this is kind of a rare statement to say nowadays, but I much rather fucking have an inconvenience to my afternoon or be a bit sad because someone's going through a bad time than know that someone fucking passed away because they had no support. You know what I mean? Anyways, that being said, of course, the comment section, your friends, even me, we are not therapists, although I am a psychologist, fun fact. I have my license to practice with the, oh my god, I forgot. See, it's been so long I forgot the name of the fucking registry board for psychology. Oh my god, what was it? Oh my god. Anyway, that registration, that license to practice expires at the end of this year, so soon I will not be a practicing psychologist either. Of course, first point of call is always if you're able to talk to a psychologist, a trained psychologist, and a licensed psychologist first. However, my best friend is currently doing a master's in disability. I keep forgetting the full title because it's super complicated. But her master's thesis, her dissertation, is about accessibility of mental health care. And the truth is that mental health care is extremely difficult to reach, especially if you are of a lower social class, if you live in a country that doesn't have free healthcare, if you live in a country like the UK where the waiting lists are ridiculous, if you live in a country like Poland where I was told that the waiting list for a psychologist privately is 2 days, and the waiting list for the same psychologist but on the free national healthcare plan is 2 years. So yeah, obviously go to a professional, but I know that not everyone can go to a professional. I don't know, guys, support each other. Look out for your friends, look out for your online friends, look out for your family members. Yeah. That has been your mental health PSA for today. I feel like I really like rambling about things, which I probably shouldn't because I am gonna get probably crucified at some point if I keep speaking my truth in Poland. But would you like me to ramble some more during my videos? I have a lot of controversial political takes. I've got a lot of controversial mental health takes. I've got a lot of just takes in general. So if you like more rambles while I sew, go ahead and comment down below and I'm happy to indulge. Because I thought that maybe at the beginning I was like, I'm just gonna be like an aesthetic sewing channel, I'm not gonna go too deep into anything. But I thought actually, I think this is a side effect of my absolute mental breakdown I had last night, where I just kind of reassessed and I was like, huh. Okay, I think we are slowly getting somewhere. Right? I think so. Oh, my grandma's calling, sorry.